and I'm interviewing Portia Brayfield and Jane Stafford, and we're on, it's February 12th, 2013. In the 1940s and 50s, these were known as the Odell girls. And I'm going to be discreet here, and I'm not going to ask their ages, but I'm going to ask each one of them what the date they were born.
Well, I'll tell you my age. It's 69, and I was born July 31st, 1943.
1943 July.
I'm 71, and I was born December 7th, 1941.
Wow, that's a story.
Yes, it is. Although most people...
Well, let's start with that. Now, what is December 7th, 1941?
Pearl Harbor Day. Mine
Pearl Harbor.
What have your folks told you about the day you were born, and any correlation between that and Pearl Harbor Day?
No, mostly that I was their big bomb.
Well, so you grew up. I guess you guys. Do you remember the end of the war? You probably.
I remember. The only thing I remember about the end of the war is I think that we must have been up at the fairgrounds
in Springfield.
And they announced it was the end of the world, and everybody just going crazy. And
yeah.
And that's all I can remember. That stuck in my mind somehow.
You don't remember
Oh,
it.
no.
I don't either. I was
either.
born in 44. just not quite a year after you, January 44. And I don't remember it. I was born in Seattle, where my dad was working for Boeing. And we moved back to Kansas, so I don't even remember anything about living in Washington. But I know that it was a big thing, and I'm thinking that you have been raised by parents who went through the war, who went through the Depression, and that affected how they raised you. Can you tell me, each of you tell me something about your parents that you'd like to explain?
Well, do you want it in relation to how their depression?
Any way you'd like
Well,
to say it.
We saved everything.
Say who they are.
Oh, our parents are Porter and Zelma. Her maiden name was Merle. Porter and Zelma Merle Odell. That's our parents. And, well, I'll just say we had a wonderful childhood, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We just played, roamed around Fairgrove, helped our mother when we got a little older.
And the house you lived in was where?
It's where Jeff Danderson lives now. I could not bear to let that house go.
I
It has
know it.
such good memories. And so my son lives in it. And it was a simpler time. Actually, we had no indoor toilet. We got our water from a cistern with a big pump at the sink. And I'm sure Jane, no television. We did have a radio. And we did have electricity. But we entertained ourselves.
Who were your friends? You have neighbors?
Oh, yes. Anytime you want to say anything.
Okay. Arnie and Kay Goneman. Donald was younger. And Joyce Wood.
And Nyoka
And
Willis.
Nyoka. And Donna Chapman.
And Kathy.
And Kathy, she was younger.
Oh, she's my age.
Is she really? Well, no wonder.
Not so much younger.
Not so much younger.
And you played up and down the streets. The streets were not paved in those days.
No.
There was some paved
No.
sidewalk. There was some in front of our house, I
yes,
think.
there was some paved sidewalk, and I just can't remember if Jane did this or not, but I
What?
went around and visited the neighbors. Daddy Aiken lived across the street.
Uh-huh.
And I would go there, and he always kept this pastel-colored candy stick. I always got one of those. I would go visit, we called them like Grandma Brown,
Yeah.
and Eve Goss, who always tried to get me to drink goat's milk. Never did. But we were free to roam around. Everybody watched out for us.
And there wasn't a lot of traffic in
No.
those days.
No, there wasn't.
But we had boundaries. Nobody, I don't think, ever said you can't go across 125. You can't go past the woods up here at Rashears,
Mhm.
because we used to play along that creek. but we knew.
You had boundaries.
We didn't go up on the old knob because we were told there were panthers up there. Probably to keep us from going up there.
Did Uncle Sam ever tell you anything, Henri? Was he kind of...
Oh my. He was always a big tease.
Yes, he was. I remember him letting me drive his car.
And what was the car?
I believe it was a Chevy.
At what age?
Was that the Impala?
Oh, when I was at what age? That was Sam's car, not Dad's.
No, he had a pink hardtop Impala that we thought
Who
was
had a
wonderful.
pink
Sam.
Impala?
Well, it's kind of a rose color.
Okay,
I don't remember that.
that was your car.
Now he and Evelyn had that, and Iowa and I drove it before we had driver's license.
Portia and I remember different things.
Mm-hmm.
She'll tell me something, I say, I don't remember that. But
Well, what car do you remember driving of Sam's?
I don't remember what color it was, but I know it was, I would drive it from Grandpa's house, which is where Carson and Gladys live now, to Fairgrove.
My goodness.
And all of this was before I had a license. Because everybody drove before they had a license.
Well, sure, you had to learn somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't much traffic. I guess if you got close to 65 highway, there was plenty of traffic, and that was
Well,
on
yeah,
the side.
Dad used to send me out to get Baker. What was his?
Floyd?
Floyd Baker, yeah. He'd send me out where they lived then,
Uh-huh.
and that was on,
Out at Bass's place, wasn't it?
yeah.
Frankie's old place.
No, it was on up a little bit.
Oh, what was it?
Yeah,
It was out that direction.
yeah, just a little bit past that. So he just sent me out to get people to work, and
And did he have the chicken house behind your house?
yes,
When was that
Well,
built, do you think?
actually, he built that.
that was, I was
Later.
older then. I was scared to death of those chickens.
We
Did-
were close to high school age
Yeah.
then, probably late 50s.
You had to help your mom in the garden, or got to help your
Oh,
mom?
on
in the garden?
Mondays, when we
You
weren't
had
at
a
school.
routine?
Oh yes, it was wash day. On a ringer washer, she didn't get an automatic washer till
Diana was
1960. So I had a ringer washer, and we on Tuesday we ironed. We just had a routine. Saturday was clean
ironing. Did
house.
she make you iron?
Well, yeah, we had to take turns. If one of
You don't remember ironing?
Oh yeah, I remember it, but I didn't remember Portia.
we had to take
Portia was always
turns.
running off.
Oh, I was busy playing.
Did you have bicycles?
Yes, we had bicycles.
JR bought us our first big bicycle. And I remember that because we went down that hill that's between Jeff's house, you know, that alley there.
Oh,
And I was barefooted. And I thought I was going too fast, and I put my foot down to stop myself because I didn't know how to use the brake. And I split my little toe wide open. I remember that.
Well, my bicycle was my horse. I was a Gene Autry fan, and my bicycle was named
I
Champion.
was too.
She was,
Well,
I was Roy Rogers. She was always going off playing and be gone, and I was always trying to sit down and sneak a book and read. I complained to Dad one time that Mom just would not let me sit down and read. She just made me get up and do something all the time.
Betty had that kind of grandma.
I had that kind of mom.